Hello, hello everyone. I do hope your work week was fruitful and that you're ready to tackle things this weekend with everything you have. I do thank you for joining me today as we follow along with the Haven Pack and their various different clans in this wonderful game called Niche. We're going to start today's episode with Rota's descent to the southernmost nest. He is reluctantly leaving the Garden of Eden to start his family with the princess of the elite clan. He does not love her, mainly because he hasn't met her yet. You know, arranged marriages are, well, they're awkward at best, but he really doesn't want to love her because he despises the elites and their uppity ways in his eyes. He feels like he should have the right to lead the pack since his mother was also Adam and Eve's daughter, but you know, that is not the way things work with the pack currently. What the rest of the pack do not know is that our blind-eyed beauty in the back, Ducro, is a seer, and he had a vision of new lands to the east, lands full of adventure and opportunity, a land that would divide the pack into two. Who will lead this pack to the new lands? Well, Rota's hoping he himself will lead them to it. It would be his opportunity to shine, but the pack needs to get stronger. He knows that, and so does Roro, who is the current king of the pack. There are some scandals brewing in this pack that will help us get the strength and health we need to venture off into our new lands, so new couples will be emerging soon, and maybe the distraction and vision Rota needs to put his plan into motion. Isizra only has a few days left with the clan, and I can honestly say she's been one of my favorite beings to follow. She was one of the first, if not the first, to be born with the blessed double nimble fingers. While her face is unfortunate, her heart makes up for it. Don't you agree? As she single-handedly feeds a third of the pack alone, and her compassionate heart has healed so many. She is a real testament to true beauty. One more baby from her, I have a feeling it's going to be as fantastic as she is. This is also Lalair's last day with us, and while she didn't have a super huge main role in the story, she's contributed to the clan by scouting the land and claiming it for the king and his pack. I'll actually miss her because, truthfully, we need more scouts and more beings stationed by the bushes while our mothers breed our future generations. Having harvesters by the bushes that are capable of picking more than one berry per turn is going to be key in our departure to the New World. We're going to be taking our full storehouse with us, and I'm hoping for at least 250 to 300 pieces of food. We'll need it to survive the new lands because Lord knows what horrors await the pack in the new area. I won't go into much detail on the other islands for those of you that have never played the game or seen other LPs. I want to keep some things a surprise for you. Anywho, back to the current story and present scenario. I may send Cease down to console Tape after Isizra dies. He's going to need a lot of consolation because the loss will impact the entire pack. Okay, on to some housekeeping. Let's start moving the youngins out of their nests. They are stronger now and don't need the constant attention of their mothers. Speaking of mothers, I'm going to try breeding Facsimile and Isre one more time. However, that pairing is not an ideal one. They'll most likely breed some gatherers for us, not entirely perfect genetics, but useful nonetheless for our pack. I mean, she did sire our seer, our very first seer, and while he may not be a soldier in our army, he is perfectly capable of gathering our sacred acorns and foretelling the future. Hey, who wouldn't want a job like that? I'm staring at Mesame with her panda patterns and gray horns and beautiful clawed paw. I was looking at the genetics panel before I started recording and noticed she's one of the few perfect souls in this pack. She remains unseen by many, however she is Paul and Staples' child. Her heritage is rich with beings we absolutely loved. Resume, being one, and Rana were her grandmothers. The original founder of the Garden of Eden and her sister the Protector, Resume, who we absolutely knew and loved so very much. She holds a powerful legacy and has bewitched the king himself. Yes, you will find that in the next episode, King Roro will come to pay her a visit and may leave behind a seed or two. Scandalous, I know, But those two have the open eye in both dominant and recessive, and because of them and another pairing, we will start to develop a fully healthy pack. What does that mean for Rebecca and the king? Well, she knows kings have concubines. She isn't thrilled about it at all, but she is content to be the queen of the pack. Mesame will forever be the lesser of the two females. Or will she? We established in the last episode that we had entirely too many darkened tiles, mainly because of our nearsighted deficiency and, yes, lack of pack members too. So, to reiterate our strategy for the future, we will breed as many normal-eyed children as possible. We'll need a strong, healthy, and skilled crew for upcoming adventures in our new island. We have to prioritize these features and also remember to continue to collect food before our trip. Fill our storehouse, breed better genetics. This job is entirely too exhausting. And here's our next turn. We're going to move tape to the left of the board, mainly because I want to free up the nest for Ceres. She's going to meet her new husband, Rota, and start her family. She's very nervous about leaving the comforts of her life with the elite. Having to be someone's mate and caretaker to a nest of her own is, well, it's overwhelming. Rota's original plan of being indifferent towards her and giving her the cold shoulder didn't work out. She's breathtakingly beautiful and did not expect to feel his insides turn on a dime upon their meeting. How did he get so lucky to have Ceres as a mate? How did he expect to lay out his plans of betrayal to the elite when he's starting to feel deeply for one of them? She's humble, supportive, and caring. All characteristics he did not expect in the elite. He has some serious feelings to sort out. Alright, Koisra, Caesar's eldest, has some serious collecting skills. She'll be teleported next to her grandfather, Rota, and ultimately will have a bush of her own. She's another one with a double normal eye. I may end up having to pair her up with her great aunt Staples' mate, Paul. They both have normal eye pattern and different immunities. The tricky thing here is her body will end up hurting him, so it will inevitably shorten his lifespan, but it will be a necessary sacrifice for the pack. We'll now head over to the elite clan and check on their energy, assign them some duties, if you know what I mean. First, we'll appreciate the beauty of Abella. She reminds me so much of her father, Abel. I'm so sad he never had a chance to meet her. I know he'd be so proud. King Roro and Rebecca will start their little elite family, and we'll start observing how they fare in the breeding department. If you remember, we really need more protectors, and I really feel like that's what Rebecca will provide the clan. However, Roro has heard of the enchanting Mesame, as I said before, and has developed feelings for her from afar. So that particular pairing will be super interesting to observe as well. Next, we'll head to the second nest in the Garden of Eden and meet Aramir. Aramir is gorgeous with her spotted fur and poison fangs, which remind me of our beloved Resume. Useful nimble fingers, a normal eye in the dominant spot. She isn't a terrible genetic host, but not the best either. I also see the spiked body in her recessive, and that gives me cause to pause and really rest on the thought that Isri and Facsimile, while they make cute children, are not going to be able to be utilized to breed in the future, which I'm okay with. We're desperately needing stationary berry pickers, and that is what Aramir and her brother Ducro, the blind seer, will be for us. So, once Aramir leaves her nest, we'll perhaps utilize it for our normal eye breeding couples, which we have identified they are at this point in time, Paul and Koisra and Mesame and Roro. Between those two couples, we should be able to support the normal eye cause during the 5th gen anyway. Going to continue picking berries because we mustn't forget, starving is not an option! No, it's not, and I have to remember to set the alpha, mega, and beta sequence on our panels for our critters to ensure breeders get to eat before the rest of the pack. It's important to ensure we do that at the very least in the next episode. And we'll continue to play with these tiles, but berries are a priority, so the darkened tiles will just have to wait. And now, on to les prises de résistance. Oh, it is Caesar's spitting image. Look at the green, wonky, Yankee eyes and the effed up teeth. I love her. And look, the double normal eyes with the beautiful green and both dominant and recessive. And yeah, she has a spit snout, but we've already determined that that is just a cosmetic feature characteristic. She has the panda pattern. She has the claw and the runner leg. She has double normal eyes. She has no hemophilia. This is a really good candidate, and I am determined to find this precious soul a mate. While she's not the greatest picker, she's a fighter, and I absolutely love her. Applause. You have done so well for this pack, Isidra. You are a lover, not a fighter. You're a compassionate soul, and you have given us perfect, beautiful, interesting characters for children. I love you so much, and you shall be missed. I love that their kids are so very different. They're both so incredibly strong, too. It is representative of the legacy she leaves behind. Her inner strength symbolized through her offspring. So beautiful. All right, here we are in the next turn. I believe we have 2 children born on this turn, and ironically, they're both from the opposing factions, the Elite and the Firstborn, and so did Rota. Look at this interesting looking purple-eyed creature. I can already tell you, well, it's cosmetically good looking, and most of the genetics are of high quality. The fact that she has blind recessive genes already tells me we won't be breeding her with the Elite in the future. It just can't happen for the safety of our future gen. I'm probably going to change her incredibly hard to pronounce name to Porcupine because I think it's fitting. Rota is blindly proud of his firstborn exotic creature. Maybe it's the purple eyes. Maybe it's the fact that it's his child with the Elite. Maybe it's the fact that he loves Ceres more than he cares to admit. Whatever it is, he is smitten, and that he should be. Porcupine is waving hello to us. My, you're a strong one. Is she as strong as Rebecca? Well, we may have to compare later. A pretty well-rounded creature, if nothing else. I feel like she can pierce us with her stare, though. Her eyes are intense. But this has to be one of my favorite couples, Rota and Ceres. They are quite the charmers, for sure. And this is Rebecca here. Oh my gosh, she is just something to behold. I already love her so, so much. Now that Tape is mourning, we'll send our sweet Cease over to console him. They look like they're genetically compatible? Question mark? While they have that accursed nearsighted bull crap in their genes, they'll at the very least give us kids we can utilize to make the pack bigger and start working to build up our food stores. Also, if we get lucky, we may be able to breed another double normal eye into the pack. That's the main goal for the next episode anyway. We'll do what we can because I'm anxious to go to the next island with you guys. Cease will be in charge of the berry tree behind her, and we shall strive to get Rhoda and Ceres in the family way once again. We shan't waste any time. Hey, how many different ways can we say pregnant in like slang terms? I know probably about 3 or 4, like she's in the family way, she got knocked up. There's a bun in the oven. There's a bat in the cave. There's a pea in the pod. She's eating for 2, but I can't think of any others. Anyway, there you have it. My entire pregnant slang repertoire all in one sitting. We won't have Cease have her baby in this turn out of respect for Isidra, but she'll be in charge of the berry bushes behind her, as is customary for the females that are nesting in the original nests of Adam and Eve, so I think that's fair. I think Rota is hell-bent on being the ruler of the roost. He's changing his gems to a sequence of his own. He has his wife convinced he's more fit to rule than her brother, and poor gullible Ceres would believe anything he says. And what's even more disturbing is that he's actually convincing Tape and Cease on his future plans to rule the pack as well. This could mean the start of the division of the clan, and that makes me a little bit nervous. Koizra and Izra, while young, understand that division isn't the way. It isn't what their mother Isizra would have wanted. It's not what she instilled in them. They both understand that they need to warn the rest of the pack of what troubles are brewing. They're saddened their father is being brainwashed, but their survival of the pack is their first priority. It's what Isizra would have wanted. Let's visit with Izra and her brood and help them collect with the sacred tree. They'll be the tree's guardian, a noble job for this sweet clan. Dugro can gather energy from this beautiful, mesmerizing, and enchanting tree to be able to utilize his seer talents. It's kind of awe-inspiring. And what the heck do we have here? Did I completely miss this precious one being cared for by his mother's staples? Kukukir. I love the double-berry paw. Thank the creator. But that's pretty much all that's in store for this stunning creature. His blind recessive cannot be permitted to be handed down to this pack. However, we really desperately needed his level of skill since Isizra passed on. It's her blessing to the pack. I really do believe that. Just gorgeous. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and have Staples and Paul breed one more time, and that'll probably be it for this couple, because then I'm going to use Paul to breed with Koizra when she's older. Again, it'll shorten his life, but it's the sacrifice that he's going to make for the pack for the sake of those normal eyes. We're going to desperately need them when we shift islands. So, okay, now last but certainly not least, we have our gorgeous firstborn, born of King Roro and Rebecca. Oh, smack, this isn't good. And this might be the catalyst to why Roro decides to look somewhere else. His firstborn is genetically flawed with his nearsighted and hemophilia and recessive. That just is unacceptable. I do appreciate the claw. We need fighters, and maybe we'll breed him to create a clan of elite fighters, but he won't be inheriting the throne. And that's going to be a sad day. Rebecca can sense Roro's disappointment. So she's going to leave the nest real quick and get pregnant again just to prove that she can sire a true elite, perfect genetic creature. This may be her last hope at maintaining her queen status. She's not going to fly if Roro feels like his genetics are going to be declining instead of getting better. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on that. And again, we've already slated him and Mesame to try and breed on the sly on the download, because her genetics are absolutely, she probably is one, there's probably 3 or 4 in the pack right now that have perfect genetics in my opinion, and Mesame is one of them. So with the, the double normal eye and no hemophilia. And I love the panda pattern as a cosmetic. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this for now. And before we take our next turn, I just want to look at the map and see what other strategies we can make. All right, friends, I think that was plenty of shenanigans for the day. The legend of the Haven Pack is getting intense, between the coup that Rota is planning to the affair that King Roro is about to embrace. Our clan will get stronger, but will these scandals belabor that goal? Or will they be the catalyst to a successful and perfect lineage of creatures? We, you and I, shall find out. To reiterate our plans for the future, we'll get a bundle of double normal-eyed creatures before we set sail to the unknown. We'll continue to breed the not-so-perfect ones for berry picking and strength. Once we get to the new island, we'll start introducing the water genetics to the clan. My hope is to successfully claim the next island, but I know there'll be some obstacles to overcome. One of which will not be the need for food, because our plan is to build up our stores, so that'll be one less thing to worry about. Okay, with that, I bid you all adieu. I appreciate you all more than you know. Virtual hugs. Have a super weekend, and I'll talk to you super, super soon. Roger Dodger, over and out.